Hello and welcome to day 17 of our journey to read the Bible every day for 1 year in chronological order. Today we are going to read Genesis 16 to 18. Genesis 16. Sarai, being barren, gives Hagar to Abram. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold now, the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. Hagar runs away. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived, and when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. And Sarai said unto Abram, My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judge between me and thee. But Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. An angel sends Hagar back, telling her she will bear a child. And the angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by a fountain in the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarai's maid, whence camest thou, and whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Return to thy mistress, and submit thyself under her hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ismael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. And she called the name of the Lord that spake unto her, Thou God seest me, for she said, Have I also here looked after him that seeth me? Wherefore the well was called Bir Lahai Roi. Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered. Hagar bears a son who is named Ismael. And Hagar bare Abram a son, and Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare, Ismael. And Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bare Ismael to Abram. Genesis 17. God renews the covenant with Abram. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me, and be thou perfect. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee. And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee in their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee, and to thy seed after thee. And I will give unto thee, and to thy seed after thee, the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. And God said unto Abraham, Thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. This is my covenant which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised, and ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you. Every man child in your generations, he that is born in the house, or bought with money, of any stranger which is not of thy seed. He that is born in thy house, and he that is bought with thy money must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised man-child, whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He hath broken my covenant. Sarai's name is changed, and she is blessed. And God said unto Abram, As for Sarai thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be. And I will bless her, and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her. Then Abraham fell upon his face, and laughed, and said in his heart, Shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear? And Abraham said unto God, Oh, that Ismael might live before thee. And God said, Sarah, thy wife, shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. And as for Ismael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, beget, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. And he left off talking with him, and God went up from Abraham. Abraham and Ismael are circumcised, and Abraham took Ismael his son, and all that were born in his house, and all that were bought with his money, every male among the men of Abraham's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskin in the selfsame day, as God had said unto him. And Abraham was 90 years old and 9, when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And Ismael his son was 13 years old, when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. In the selfsame day was Abraham circumcised and Ismael his son. And all the men of his house, born in the house and bought with money of the stranger, were circumcised with him. Genesis 18. The Lord appears to Abraham. And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre. And he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door, and bowed himself toward the ground, and said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree. And I will fetch a morsel of bread, and comfort ye your hearts. After that ye shall pass on, for therefore are ye come to your servant. And they said, So do as thou hast said. And Abraham hastened into the tent unto Sarah, and said, Make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, kneaded, and make cakes upon the hearth. And Abraham ran unto the herd, and fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto a young man, and he hasted to dress it. And he took butter and milk, and the calf which he had dressed, and set it before them. And he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. Sarah is reproved for laughing at the strange promise. And they said unto him, Where is Sarah thy wife? And he said, Behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life, and lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of woman. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, After I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also? And the Lord said unto Abraham, Wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I of a surety bear a child, which am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed I will return unto thee, according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Then Sarah denied, saying, I loved not, for she was afraid. And he said, Nay, but thou didst love. And the man rose up from thence, and looked toward Sodom. And Abraham went with them to bring them on the way. And the Lord said, Shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do? Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I know him that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him. And the Lord said, Because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which is come unto me, and if not, I will know. And the men turned their faces from thence, and went toward Sodom, but Abraham stood yet before the Lord. Abraham intercedes for the people of Sodom. And Abraham drew near and said, Wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Peradventure there be 50 righteous within the city. Wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked, that be far from thee, shall not the judge of all the earth do right? And the Lord said, If I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sakes. And Abraham answered and said, Behold now, I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord, which am but dust and ashes. Peradventure there shall lack 5 of the 50 righteous. Wilt thou destroy all the city for lack of 5? And he said, If I find there 45, I will not destroy it. And he spake unto him yet again, and said, Peradventure there shall be 40 found there. And he said, I will not do it for 40's sakes. And he said unto him, Oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak, peradventure there shall 30 be found there. And he said, I will not do it, I find 30 there. And he said, Behold now, I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord. Peradventure there shall be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 20's sake. And he said, Oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak yet but this once. Peradventure 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. And the Lord went his way as soon as he had left communing with Abraham. And Abraham returned unto his place. Okay, this was Genesis 16 to 18. And I have a lot of thoughts, more thoughts than questions, I would say. But I have 2 questions. First, well, I have to research after this. Who were the other men that were with God? And again, like I said in the first few Genesis chapters, he walked in the Garden of Eden. Because I said before that I didn't know that God walked the earth before Jesus. So I was surprised that he walked in the Garden of Eden. But still, I thought before reading the Bible, really, for real now, that the Garden Eden was in heaven. So it would make sense that God is walking there. But since it's on earth, I was surprised that he walked the earth before Jesus. And here again, he walks the earth. He's there with the 2 or 3 men. Here is written, wait, it's here. I'm going to put that back here. And here, lo, 3 men stood by him. So 3 men were with him. So who are those men? Because I first thought, where's my pencil? Here. Sorry. I first thought that they must be angels, right? But then I thought, well, maybe they were just simple men. But why did God choose them to be his company? I don't know. I don't know if it's somewhere written in the Bible, the answer, but I will search it up later. And he left 3 men. Who were those men, and why? And why did God choose them? Choose them to be his company. His company, and then that was, and God walked again. I have to write that down too. God walked the earth again. Walk the earth again, and I will put the God's color in here. So we just have to find out what, I think it was this one, right? Yeah. Does it work? Put them in the middle. Okay, and what was the other thing I was confused at? So then I was also surprised here. And the man was up, where God was thinking if he should talk to Abraham about him wanting to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, or yeah, for I know him. Shall I? And the Lord said, Shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do? All seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. So he actually thought to himself, "Wait, is it a good idea to talk to Abraham, since he is going to lead the next generation of people on our earth?" And I don't know how I feel about this verse, because we always have this image from God that he is almighty, that he has all the answers, that he has a plan for everything. But then in this situation, I thought to myself, he didn't really plan everything, right? Because he still thinks to himself like a person. He still thinks, oh, should I do that? Should I do that? Should I do that? Even though I always thought everything is planned out, like from start to end. But even for God, he can change his mind during our life. I don't know. Then I think maybe there is not everything planned out yet for everyone, or for even for his plan for our earth, because he still heard what Abraham was saying. So he still listened to him and really tried to see it his way, or to have mercy on those people, because Abraham made him think about it some more. And that's also something that I found great, and I was a bit confused by it, since I always thought that nobody could change his mind, because he is God, so he knows what he's doing. But I always think, like, when there are catastrophic events, because of our climate and because how we treat this earth, it's often for me, even though I'm not there, luckily, so I'm already blessed this way, but many people that I see on the news, for example, who are losing their homes, who are losing their everything that they built so long, are the ones who seem to be nice and seem to be like poor, so they really worked for everything they have, and they cannot just build it up just like that, just like other people. They don't have the the financial situation that they could rebuild it just like that, and they are often not helped by the government and everything. So for me, it's just like the story. If someone is righteous, why should they be punished with the wicked, just because they are surrounded by it, or that they are living in a city that seems to be wicked or is wicked? And that I don't even know what I should write next to this, because I just think that it's still to this day like that, and that God didn't really think about what Abraham was saying, that maybe it's not right to punish everyone. But then again, for example, climate change and everything, we did that. It was our fault. It wasn't God's fault. And we are sinners. So maybe we deserve it, but there are so many people, even that I know, where things happen to them and they don't deserve it. Not one bit. But then again, when we would say that, then this would mean that every righteous person shouldn't have anything that is going wrong in their life, and that is not possible on our earth, because it's not paradise, right? So yeah, but this part is really confusing on my view of God, if I can say it like that. Not in a bad way, but not in a good way either. It's brought up some confusion, and I really have to look more into that and why I'm feeling like that, because yeah, that changed a bit my viewpoint on yeah, could I say God, on how he is as a being, because so many things that are happening in this scenario, it's like he's a human being with powers. Because he still has to rethink the things that he wants to do. So he still is rethinking and trying to understand another viewpoint and everything. So it makes him a bit more human, if I can say it like that. It makes him a bit more, can I say normal? Like he's one of us. But mighty, Yeah, so I don't even know what I can write next to it. Maybe rethinks rethinks options, and hears and listens, and it won't open the eraser, just because I put lotion on my hands before. No, okay. And listens to Abraham's opinion or point of view. Opinion. Maybe God is more human than we think. But again, this is true for Jesus. Like, I know that Jesus was a human, I would say, a son of God, or the son of God is more suiting, does match more for Jesus, but I wanted to say that for Jesus, what was the same thing. He was more human than mighty being for me. When I hear stories about him, again, I have to read it in the Bible during this year, but God, that's why it was also so shocking for me that God walked the earth, because we always think that not we, me. Me, I always thought that Jesus was the one who walked the earth and God was the mighty being in in the clouds, I don't know, that speaks to you. But yeah, so still you can hear my voice. I'm still a bit confused. I don't know how to sort my thoughts. And yeah, so I will put the mark of our society there. Oh, our society and of God. The society, by the sticker for the society, I mean that he destroys the righteous with the wicked. May I put them a bit closer together? That he wants to smite the good people with the bad people. So, stick together. So, yeah, I need to do my research also on the other men that were with God. From my simple thinking, I would just say that they were angels, but not really introduced as angels. But I don't know. So it was a bit long. My last remarks, my only remarks, because since I only read the verses and then talked, because sometimes I think that if I talk during my reading session, that I will say something and then later in the next verse, God or whoever wrote it actually had the answer that I was looking for. Also with the three men, I thought maybe it would be written somewhere, but it was not. Not for now. And yeah, I hope it wasn't too long for you to listen to my ramble on my confusion. And I wish you a great day, evening, or night, and or night. And I hope I see you tomorrow. Bye.